Shalom, Kahalo Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us its truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with another third woe update, right? And when you encounter that word woe, it means destruction, right? So this is Revelation 9, and it's talking about a war in this case. Revelation 9 and 12. One woe, all right? One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. This prophecy has already come to pass, right? And this is letting you know that during this time, this is speaking of World War I, all right? And it says two more come after one, all right? This is Revelation 11, and this speaks of the Second and Third World War. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and we all know that in 43, right, in the early 40s, if I'm not hitting it on the head, they had World War II. So this is speaking of that time. The second woe is past, right? Now, the Third World War, it hasn't been declared as of yet, right? So we're in this time right here, all right? The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, all right? The Third World War cometh quickly, all right? And if you understand how time actually works, all right, that one day is as 1,000 years to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, you understand that things take time, all right? So when Daddy Bush goes into Kuwait, right, and you get all of these skirmishes going around that, and then what? What is it? 10 years later, then 10, maybe 12 years later, then W goes into Iraq and establishes the biggest military bases on the face of the earth in that region. Why? Why did he go do that? Because of what is going on now. So you could have a jumping off spot. Same as an aircraft carrier. You set your carrier off the shores of where you want to go attack. So your planes can, take off, refuel, do what they need to do, and fly sorties. All right? But what we're showing you here is that the Bible, right, is a prophetic book. All right? And we can go in, we can show you the nuclear bombs and everything. All right? Let's do that real quick. Because the world as we know it is going to end in nuclear destruction. All right? So let's go to Zechariah real quick. For those that are watching, I see that if I put the right title on these videos, then people, when they're doing their search, because they're looking for something, people are looking, oh, World War III. And then what that really is the Most High is guiding you to this truth, right? So let's pull out the nuclear missiles real quick. This is Zechariah 14 and 12, right? And they're calling these nuclear missiles a plague, all right? And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, all right? This is the plague. They're going to describe it. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay, well, what is going to cause that? A nuclear blast. All right? A nuclear blast. What is this? What am I looking for here? Isaiah. This is Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, this is how they made the nukes, how they made that thing, all right? Because the Most High is the one that creates everything. Behold, I have created the smith, as in blacksmith, that bloweth the coals in the fire, right? What does a blacksmith do? He makes weapons, all right? Battle axes, swords, arrows, all right? Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. What's that talking about? It's talking about these nukes. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. That's talking about a nuclear bomb. All right? Now, quickly, let's show you those nuclear bombs going off. Right? This is Revelation chapter 11. All right? And we won't go into the UFOs that they're supposed to be describing. They're supposed to be the government is supposed to be telling you what the UFOs are, and they're not going to do it. All right? But we will touch on it right quick. Let's start right here at 12. Revelation 11 and 12. This is talking about the UFOs and what they're coming to do and who's inside of them. All right? And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Wait a minute. From heaven, right? From in the sky. Come up, something is saying, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Who is they? The 1/3 of Israel, the elect of Israel. They ascended up to heaven in what? A cloud. And their enemies beheld it. So these people have enemies. All right. Now the destruction, the nuclear bombs. And the same hour there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted, and they gave glory to the power of heaven. Okay? So, right before those nuclear bombs hit, okay, what some people call the rapture, and there ain't no word rapture, right? Those chariots, right, which they call a cloud, are going to beam up just like Jesus was beamed up into a cloud, right? The Most High and the angels are going to say, come up hither, right? Slovakia. Is it 4? It's 4, Slovakia. Okay. Keep doing that. Start right here, 15. This is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 15. By the word of the Lord. Hold on, let's get King James. Start here at 16. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. How is he going to descend? Okay, I'm going to show you. With a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first, then we, which are alive and remain, shall be caught up together with them. Caught up means to be beamed up with them in the clouds. Right? That word clouds, to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord, all right? What are these clouds? Well, let's get Jesus real quick. Yahweh Shai. This is Acts 1 and 9. All right. All right. And when he, who's he? Let's talk about Jesus. Yahweh Shai is his name. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up. Who was taken up? Yahweh Shai, or Jesus, was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Huh? That happened to Jesus? Well, how come nobody says that? And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. These two men were angels, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. He's coming back the same way. Speaking of the second coming. Well, let's look at the second coming. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, meaning look, he cometh with cloud. Who's he? You talk about Jesus. The revelation of Jesus, okay? Behold, he cometh with clouds. And every eye shall see him. Everybody's going to see that big-ass chariot. What chariot? He cometh with clouds. Here's the chariot right here. You can't see it because you don't have eyes to see or ears to hear. All right? So right now we're talking about what's going to happen during World War III. All right? This guy's coming back in a cloud like he left in a cloud. Okay? Now hold on. Let's get Psalm real quick. Let me qualify that. This is Psalm 104. Some attributes of the Most High God. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the water, who maketh the clouds his chariot. Swing low, sweet cloud, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. The clouds are the chariots. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. They got beamed up into what they're not going to tell you the UFOs are. All right, now let's get this battle. This is Revelation 12. Revelation 12 and 7. What's this? And there was a war in heaven. Okay? The war between the UFOs and the F-18s. Okay? And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Who's that? Okay? The great red dragon is talking about the empire, right? NATO and the EU. It was talking about the Roman Empire back in the day. Talking about you damn Edomites. All right. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. The F-18s, the war chariots of the nations, all the militaries of all the nations have their war chariots. Okay? The blue angels, if you will. Okay? Hey, the dragon, let's talk about NATO and the EU and all of the militaries of Earth, right, are going to try to fight against the angels of heaven, Michael and his angels that are in what they call the clouds or the UFOs. Okay, and we're breaking it down. They're not going to show this on CNN or any of these bullshit news channels that are leading you astray. Now, it says this, all right, there's going to be a war right here in our atmosphere, in the air, that everybody can see. You're going to see those so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Israel. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. What happened to the dragon? He got his ass whooped. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. All of your space station, your satellites, all that bullshit junk you got up in the air is coming crashing down to the earth. And the dragon was cast out. That old serpent called the devil and Satan. All those names are together. Great dragon, right? Old serpent, the one in the garden, is the devil, and he's Satan, and deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Okay? And right about that time, we get beamed up, and then the nukes. All right, so that's World War III. We got to get just a little more here, a little more meat. I know this is taking long, but that's what it is. Second Ezra 13. Okay. She'll be coming around the mountain. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, the angels. Okay? And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. They're going to be hella scared when they see those war chariots, those UFOs coming to wage war against them. This is speaking of the weapon systems that are on the chariots. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. That's talking about lasers, concentrated fire, photon torpedoes. All right. Now, this is going to speak of World War III that has already started. And after this, I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the men that came out of the sea. Well, the men that came out of the sea, speaking of up here, right? The men that waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, it's about the angels and the one that you call Jesus, right? Well, the nations of this earth, the higher ups and the militaries, they know what these UFOs are. They know that it's the one called Jesus. They know that the angels are in there, and they've been lying to you for years. Now they're coming out with these fake stories about, okay, yeah, they exist, and we're no match for them, but we're not going to really tell you what they are. But they're going to come together to subdue, to fight against, right, Yahweh Shai, or the one you call Jesus. 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Okay? What do you mean she'll be coming around the mountain? Let's get it. Coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain. Oh, lyrics. This is the Wikipedia right here. Real quick. Let's get this real quick to show you I ain't making shit up. Background. The first appearance of She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain in print was Carl Sandburg's The American Song Bag in 27. Sandburg reports that the Negro spiritual, When the Chariot Comes, what? When the Chariot Comes, which was sung to the same melody, was adapted by railroad workers in Midwest United States in the 1890s. All right. The original song was published in Old Plantation Hymns in 1899. It ostensibly refers to the second coming of Christ and subsequent rapture. That's when they get beamed up. They call it rapture. With the she referring to the chariot that the returning Christ is depicted as driving. How do they know this? Somebody knows something. Okay, now they try to throw you off. Typically, she would refer to the church wrong itself, not a chariot, since nowhere in the Bible is Christ on a chariot. Lie, we just proved that. You see how this devil works? He's going to try to explain it away. Like many spirituals that originated in the African American community, this was probably a coded anthem for the underground. No, it's about the second coming of Christ. He's coming on a chariot. Why? He's coming back to save his people, beam them up before the missiles hit. All right, so now that we've done all of that, all right, for the people that are coming for the Third World War update, right, you need to go through the rest of the videos on my channel to be informed as to what is about to happen next. Otherwise, it's going to hit you by surprise and you ain't going to be ready. So anyway, we're at Secret Files 333 channel, and we're just going to read some of these headlines, okay? This is a day ago. Start here. 2 Iranian warships round tip of Africa for the first time. So, the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, is gathering the troops into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and you actually say that Yahweh Shaphat, meaning the Most High's judgment, because we're in the time of great judgment. All right. What are 2 Iranian warships rounding the tip of Africa for the first time? Because people are getting their war chariots or navy, which the UFO, so-called UFOs are also USOs. They go into the water with no problem, come in and out of the water, they fly, they submerge, all right? This is a day ago. Israel says it fought world's first AI war against who? Against Hamas. See these robots? We won't go into it. And Iran is steadily getting bombed over there, letting you know that the Third World War is on and cracking. They just haven't announced it yet. Okay? Eyes on China as Great Britain, all right, carrier group heads to the South Sea. Look at everybody getting in position. All right? What do you think is going on here? 2 drones shot down above Iraq. This is 5 hours ago. Fire and explosion hit Iran's steel mill. Hey, there's a war going on. They're not even declaring it yet. By the time they declare it, you're going to see bombs dropping in your neighborhood. Israel lost its numero uno spot as the most powerful air force in the what? In the Middle East. Well, how are they the most powerful air force when they can't even compete with the chariots of Israel? All right? These are just some of the headlines. Okay? Let's go to Deep Journal. All right, Iran, this is 1 day ago. Iran attacks secret CIA site. All right, I think we read that the other day. This is today, 16 hours ago. Iranian militia prepare to bomb Israel. Pentagon presses Biden. Missiles corridor from Iran to Israel. Oh, missile corridor. All right. Hey, the war's going down. All right. If we watch some of this, they're going to explain.
Liking our video, you can make it reach a much wider audience.
The danger posed by Iran's militias in Iraq and Syria is growing. Reports by international...
Wait a minute. This isn't Hamas. All right. This isn't anything going on directly in Israel. This is talking about Iran, which is way over here, letting you know that this is a world war. Okay? This is Syria right here. All right? Where's Iran? I think it's above here. All right? Jordan, you see all of these different... Okay, this is Israel. All right, where's Iraq and Iran? See, all of these people are going to come together to fight against these people that don't even belong here. You got people fighting over our land and don't even belong there. All right?
Analysts and U.S. administrations over the past few weeks have revealed the enormous threat these militias pose to U.S. military bases. During the Israel-Gaza conflicts, the small-scale missile and drone attacks of these militias from Syria and Lebanon to Israel twice were perceived
Hezbollah is what I was thinking.
As a sign of larger attacks. When Iran's acquisition of drone technology and the presence of Iranian-affiliated militias...
Here's a map, okay? Here's Israel. Here's Iran. Okay, here's Iraq. All right? Look at this. This is World War. Because anybody that touches Israel has to deal with the United Snakes. All right? So all of these people in the Middle East, right, are going to come together to defend their spot because they know that whatever's going on here, wait a minute, these people just rushed up in there and took over. Now they're threatening everybody. Okay, and what you don't understand, what you actually see, is the Most High is gathering the troops into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Let's go back here real quick, now that we saw the map and understand what's going on. This reads again, Israel lost its numero uno spot as the most powerful air force in the Middle East. Okay? Hey, my point is this. The world war is jumping off. All right? Now, I explained to you what is about to happen. With the chariots of Israel, they play an important and an integral part in what you see unfolding before you. And the reason that I did that is because I saw 1 million people come to watch one video that said World War III. Because you want to know what's going on in World War III. Well, it's all spiritual. You got to understand. I'll use the words that you understand. God and Jesus are making this happen. It all has to do with the end of the world as we know it, not the end of the globe, not the end of the earth, but the end of the rulerships that are going on right now are going to be defeated by the one that you know as Jesus Christ, who's coming back to set up his rulership. It's called the kingdom of heaven. And I'm explaining it to you, albeit very convoluted. But what you got to do is you got to go back and watch the rest of the videos and try to get some understanding on what's going on, because it's all in there. All right? I'm going to try to use another title that's going to bring more people in to see this, because God wants you to see it, whether you hear or whether you forbear. But trust and believe, everything's being filtered through the scriptures so that you know what's going on. So we'll go to Joel and show you what's going on. All right? Joel 3. All right? Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right? Jump in Jehoshaphat. Remember that? With Yosemite Sam and all that bullshit? Yahweh Shaphat. That's the Most High's name. All right, this is a translation. The real name is Yahweh. And how you say judgment is Shaphat. Shapatyam. So, God's judgment. This is God. I will also gather all nations, right? And bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, who the most of us are over here on the continent of North America right now, all right? Whom they have scattered among all nations. Wait a minute. Where are they? They're not down in the land of Israel. That's not the Israelites. The Israelites are over here in North America, the majority, and we're in all nations, like it says. We're scattered among all nations. And parted my land. Who parted the land? Well, they're parting it right now. The so-called Philistines or Palestinians are claiming that it's their land, and they're not the Philistine. Okay? The Philistines are the sons of Ham, and those are the sons of Ishmael over there. All right? Now, and this goes into a slavery right here. Given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. All right? Then it goes into these Hamites, Tyre and Zidon and all the coast of Palestine. Those are Hamites. Anyway, start right here at 9. Jump down to 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Here's your third world war. Who's doing it? The Most High is. Prepare war. World War III. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. That's what we see with 2 Iranian ships are at the Cape of Good Hope for the first time. Let them come up. The Most High has drawn them. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. Iran is like this. Oh, well, you think we ain't got no nukes. Come and mess with us. Come and mess with us. We're going to show you some nukes that Russia gave us. The bear already supplied it. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. And what is that going to cause? The Most High is saying, all you nations, I want you to come down here into what you call the Middle East. What is that going to cause? Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. What you're going to cause is the angels are going to get involved in this World War III. All right? Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat. They're not going to be able to resist getting into this third world war. Really, the Most High, Yahweh, is drawing them into an ambush. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. You heathen, you nations are about to be judged. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Here's what's going on. So this is your third woe or third World War update. All right, and what we do is from Monday to Friday, we give you a daily update, right? And really all you got to do is go to the channels that we frequent and look for yourself. But they won't be filtering the current events through the scriptures like we do here and breaking down to you what's going on, what's going to happen next, and what the outcome will be. What's the outcome of the war of the war? Okay? Well, let's get back to it. This is a great war chariot. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain shall be coming around the mountain, and flew up upon it. That's a chariot, that mountain. It said it over here. What? With the she referring to the chariot, that mountain. Okay? You think this is a game. All right? You're thinking that this is a game. Okay? And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore. They were scared when they saw the chariots, those UFOs, all ready to fight. They were scared. And yet, and fought anyway. Okay? This is 2 Ezra 13 and 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. It's about the elect of Israel. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. You guys don't know these secrets and these mysteries. That's why you got to, if you're here reading, watching this, watching it all the way through, God brought you to see this, whether you're going to accept it and understand it, or whether you're going to wave it off and say, this nigga's crazy. All right? And I'm fine with that. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another. One city against another. One place against another. One people against another. And one realm. All right? The third dimension against the fourth dimension. Well, that fight is going to take place right in our atmosphere, right in our sky. Okay? The realm of the fourth dimension and the realm of the third dimension are going to have a fight against each other. All right? Now, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before. See, we know the signs. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Remember, he got beamed up. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. This is talking about World War III is going to be in full swing, right? When the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against. That's talking about World War III. They're going to stop fighting each other. Then they're going to come together, all the people fighting against each other in World War III. they're going to say, wait a minute, we got bigger fish to fry. And innumerable multitudes shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. Back to the war in heaven. All right, and I know it's convoluted. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. That's the angels. The one you know as Jesus Christ, the archangels, and so on. And the dragon fought. Wait a minute. Who's the dragon? An innumerable multitude shall be gathered together. This is the dragon. All right. The EU, European Union, NATO, the North American Treaty Alliance, Organization, Slovakia, and all of the militaries of the world, which are our enemies, who is the children of Israel, right? Because they came together in an alliance, all right? There's an alliance against us, all right? Start right here, Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thine enemies, God's enemies, if they're God's enemies, who else are they enemies to? His people. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Because the Most High hasn't made an appearance in many, many years, you think you're running shit, but you ain't. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Well, who is God's people? The nation of Israel. And consulted against thy hidden one. Why are they hidden? Because they done made everybody think that the people that are in Israel right now, that those are God's people, and they're not. No, we're hidden. All right? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. Well, they succeeded in that for a small moment. Now here's the conspiracy. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So the one that they call Jesus and the angels are on the side of God's people, who are the Israelites, the chosen, okay, who are being hidden. Can't be the ones that are out there calling themselves Israel in the land. Can't be them, because they're being hidden. And these, right here, they're going to go through the list of the enemies of God. And this is who's over there. Who's over there in the land, in the land that doesn't belong to them? Amalek. Amalek is the chief house of Edom. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes. All right? You got the so-called white people. You got the Arabs. You got the Chinese. You got the Africans. Right? We can go right through the list. And I know you don't like to hear the truth, but the truth is what it is. These people are against the Most High. They're against the one you call Jesus, the so-called black man, and the angels look like him, right? Here's where I'm losing everybody, right? Hey, but if you want to know what's going on, you want to know the truth, watch the videos, all right? Watch the videos, because it tells you who's going to win, all right? It tells you who's going to win the battle. An innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. That's the war in heaven. But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Sion, right? And Sion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest a hill graven without hands, right? Let's talk about New Jerusalem coming down from heaven. Let's talk about a huge chariot. Then it goes on to show you who's going to win. Shall lay before them their evil thoughts and their torments, wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. They're going to get that ass burned up. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto me. All right, so, and they prevailed not. All right, where's it at? Can we get there quick? All right. It was a war in heaven. The devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, is talking about damn Edomites, the other nation. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. This is what I'm looking for. There's a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon fought against his angels and prevailed not. That's simple. All right? You can't overcome. And they're telling you themselves. All right? Well, they're flying so much faster. They can disappear. They can go into the water. Those are the angels. Michael and his angels. Right? Hmm. Slovakia. All right, we'll close on this. This is Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. We know what the UFOs are. They're not going to tell you. I'm telling you right now. Why are they not going to tell you? Because they get their ass kicked in the battle. All right? They know what is going on. They're trying to do whatever they can to offset what has been written in the scripture. They're not going to tell you who the people are. They're going to lie to you. All they're going to do is lie, right? And try to keep what we know a secret. We're the only one. So again, if you've been brought to this page, it's God doing it. What you need to do is go back and watch the rest of the videos and put the pieces of the puzzle together, right? Because all the information is there. All right, so with that, we hope that the elect have been edified. This is the World War III Daily Report, right? And with that, we're going to say shalom.